just sunny. But don't let it fool you, because it's definitely cold. Too cold for me. So I will be inside for the majority of the day. I'm just getting ready to start the school activities for today, and let's see what we get into. One of the things that I most love about wintertime is having a fire in our wood-burning stove. One of my least favorite things is moving wood all the time, constantly, from the wood pile to the dry pile to the indoors, that it needs to be done. So while the stove does bring me much joy, seeing the fire brings me warmth and comfort, I don't love the constant splinters and wood chips that are all over my floor at any given moment. I will say that building and maintaining the fire just makes me think of my ancestors and how they would spend and build their days around maintaining the fire and keeping the hearth warm. And that is another thing that brings me joy and comfort during this colder season. We have a lot of dishes to do, so let's get into it. While I do my dishes, I'd like to share with you a new songwriting exercise I tried this week. Okay, so the nearest book to me, let me double check, is going to be down here. Let me show you. Down here, I have a couple of books, as you can see. The first one, if you're looking and if you know anything about the genre, is H.P. Lovecraft. So let's find a phrase that sticks out to me. So with my book selected, I am going to try to find a section to take words and phrases from. I'm going to count to 8 and then pick a page. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I landed on page 222, which is in the story The Mound, which was actually written by H.P. Lovecraft and Zealia Bishop in collaboration with one another. And I'm trying to find words and phrases that stick out to me that maybe can be used in my songwriting process. I think it's my book. I don't know where it would have come from. It just sort of appeared. All right, so I'm underlining a few phrases. If you know anything about the style of writing of H.P. Lovecraft, you'll know that it's quite dense, very flourished, and it is not in common English as we know it today. So sometimes it takes me a little while to read and reread phrases, extract the meaning, and put it back into the context of the writing. But I was able to find several phrases that I really liked. And you can see here the light on my face as I found one really good phrase. And I have some things to work with. So this is exciting. And it's a lot like the previous practice that I shared where you journal and select phrases. It's all about finding phrases that you think you can use the meaning of and the phrasing of to put into a lyrical composition. So I've outlined a couple key phrases that I like that maybe could make it into a song. But I just want to say that H.P. Lovecraft, they don't write like this anymore. And I know why, because we don't teach this. This is not how we speak. I get it. But when I looked up from my half-stupefied reading and note-making, the morning sun was high in the heavens. The electric bulb was still burning, but such things of the real world, the modern outer world, were far from my whirling brain. I knew I was in my room at Clyde Compton's at Bingor, but upon what monstrous vista had I stumbled? Was this thing a hoax or a chronicle of madness? If a hoax, was it a jest of the 16th century or of today? The manuscript's age looked appallingly genuine to my not wholly unpracticed eyes, and the problem presented by the strange metal cylinder I dared not even think about. They just don't write them like that anymore. So a couple key phrases that I underlined. And this is from the story. What I have is H.P. Lovecraft, The Horror in the Museum, and Other Revisions. This is from The Mound. Sorry if you hear my kids. They're sick, so they shouldn't be running around, but that has never stopped them before. Yeah, this is from The Mound. It's page 223 in this book. So I underlined, it must be a shocking hoax devised by someone who knew all the lore. And it's talking about the mound, but I like this. I like this for several reasons. On page 222, which 222 is one of my favorite number sequences. I have a son born at 222. Attaining complete invisibility and preserving. So sorry. He might soon be able to assume the spectral form in full, attaining complete invisibility. Later, but mere escape was enough. Maintain his spectral conditions at all times. But must one not always risk death and worse in a life of adventure? Es más tarde de lo que pensaba, tengo que marcharme. Es más tarde de lo que pensaba, tengo que marcharme. It's much later than I thought. I have to go. I must go. I must go. Okay, so that's what we're starting with. Let's pick some chords. This is a good time to share with you a site I use to find good chord progressions for the ukulele. It's called Ukulele Go, and I use it whenever I'm feeling stuck in a rut of using the same chords over and over again. It helps me to look at different chord progressions, sometimes learn new chords that I had no file for before, and just helps me to feel like I have a good base for any song that I'm writing. I highly recommend this site. While I work on my chord progressions and my lyrical arrangement, let's head back to the fireplace. It's not lost on me that writing a song is sort of like building a fire. At the base of the fire, you need something that burns easily, and you need to layer it with kindling that makes the fire hot enough to then burn the bigger piece of wood. And so the base of the song is your lyrical idea, and you build on that with chord progressions. Some people do it the other way around, but this is the way that I generally write my songs. And then once I have a good foundation and idea, that is my fire that can burn hot enough to burn the bigger log or round out the song and complete the feeling and the idea of what I want to share. And then once I have that, I add any flourishes or vocal inflections that I feel like add to the song and will keep it going, much like the second log that I added here. And so this fire will burn for a few hours, and then I'll have to add more, which is not like songwriting unless you are constantly revising your compositions, which a lot of people do, and is recommended to have a polished finished product. But right now in my practice, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for moments of inspiration that I can build into even a shorter composition that make me feel accomplished in my creative practice. And that accomplishment allows me to build momentum into writing more music, writing more songs that are then taken from smaller chunks into full compositions. And I really like this analogy, and I really like the fire. So it's a win-win. So here you can see the lyrical arrangement that I've come up with based on the phrases I pulled from the book. And you can hear the chords that I've selected and me trying to sing them over those chords and come up with a little ditty. It is later than I thought, and I must go. I can no longer feast my eyes on this shocking home. If I maintain my spectral state, I might just prolong escape. Consequences be what they may. Consequences be what they may. Risk it all for adventure. Face death or worse. In the end, you will know what your time was worth. Risk it all for adventure. Face death or worse. In the end, you will know what your time was worth. I said, in the end, you will know what your time was worth. Thank you for joining me in today's video. That was just me attempting to be a vlogger. That didn't work out. Vlogging is not for me. It requires a constant filming and forethought and attention to what I'm doing. And I just feel like it's a skill that I have not acquired. So maybe I'll work on it, maybe not. But I did enjoy sharing with you this particular songwriting practice, and I will continue to share more songwriting practices. Let me know if you try this one, what you think of it, and if you tried the last one. My question for today is, do you like cold weather? Are you a fan of getting out of bed in the morning when it is super cold and emerging from your warm covers to greet an icy chill in the air? Or are you a warm weather person? Are you much more tropical, beachy, sweaty type vibes, let me know. Again, thank you for being here. I hope that you're having a wonderful season, whatever that is for you, and that you are staying on top of your creativity because it brings you joy, because it is an outlet for you, or because you just have to do it. Be well.